no matter what you do in life, it's likely that at some point you got influenced to do this. As humans, we learn from others by doing what they do. We observe and are able to learn from this, and throughout this, especially after learning the basics of something, we are able to put our own twist on it using our previous experiences. Whether it's writing, cooking, or using a phone, they are skills you may have learned from others by referencing them. And this idea, of course, also applies to art, most commonly with references. You look at them, observe and learn, and then apply what you see in your own way. References are an essential tool for learning and developing as an artist, and in today's video I would like to share how I myself use them, which hopefully inspires you to use references in new helpful ways. Now let's start. First off, why are references so important? I kind of already mentioned this in the beginning, but here's a more specific take on why references are especially important for art. References provide a foundation for your work, helping you understand aspects like the form, color, lighting, and more of different subjects, whether it's humans, animals, landscapes, or objects. They can bring authenticity and accuracy to your art, making your pieces more compelling and believable. Using references also allows you to learn and grow as an artist. Every time you study a reference, you're training your eye and hand to capture the details and subtleties that bring your work to life, which in turn leads to you improving as an artist. The more references you observe, the more ideas you also get for how you may want to change what you see in the reference, how you would like to stylize different aspects. There are many ways to gather references. I personally use Pinterest, Google Search, and fandom wiki sites, as well as the site zerochan.net to collect most of my references. These platforms offer a vast array of images, from detailed character designs to intricate landscapes. I also take post-reference photos of myself. Instead of snapping many photos, I film a video and take screenshots to capture poses in movement. This technique is really helpful for dynamic and natural poses. For organizing my references, I use PureRef. It's an amazing tool that functions as a mood board, allowing me to arrange my references in a way that's easy to access and view while I'm working. I find it immensely helpful for keeping my references visible and organized. You can add notes, mirror images, or even save images from the mood board to your computer. Like this, you can, for example, copy one mood board file from one device to another and get the images from there, instead of having to search all the images you gathered on the mood board if you would like to have them on another device as well. I mainly use references for composition, poses, outfits, colors, and lighting. I gather a few references for each aspect and combine them in the final image. This method helps me create cohesive and well thought out pieces. This would be how I use references for my general illustrations. For my art style analysis videos, on the other hand, I gather references for all the different aspects I mentioned. I pick out references that clearly show each aspect I want to analyze, including various ones to show different ways the artist portrays the elements as well, if this is the case. Like this, I want to provide a comprehensive understanding to you, my viewers, and me. My drawing setup includes 2 PC monitors and my graphic tablet. This allows me to display large boards on my monitors while drawing on my tablet. Upgrading from 1 monitor and tablet to 2 was very helpful here for editing videos as well. It's also good as I have to look up from my drawing tablet each time I want to look at the references leading to my neck, not hurting from staying at the same angle for a longer time. Only using 1 monitor, 1 phone, or 1 tablet to draw, however, can also be beneficial, as you, for example, may be forced to focus on few references and observing them more thoroughly to be able to use them in the same way. I keep some folders of videos and reference images on my PC, not just relying on online resources. When I don't have a very defined idea of what I would like to draw looking at, these can also be very helpful just to get inspired. Looking references up online can also be helpful here as well. Of course, I would just advise you to not overwhelm yourself and spend too much time looking up references without making decisions on which ones to use and what to draw. In general, it's important to combine multiple references to avoid simply copying one image. Often I start with mood references to determine the overall atmosphere and colors. Then I gather more specific references for details like outfit pieces and lighting on the face. This layered approach helps me to first build a foundation of the overall theme of the piece, which I then afterwards add elements to for a richer and more detailed final image. Here I will share the results of some of my past art style studies. These are a good example of referencing. For these studies, I used the artist's art as a reference to focus on different aspects like the line art, eye shading, and more. This helped me understand the different elements of their art. It also showed me what makes their art stand out and what to pay attention to when drawing in a similar style. Looking at each aspect one by one helps avoid feeling overwhelmed. After this step, I drew a full illustration that combined everything I had studied. This process is much easier when you already know how the different parts of the art work together. By focusing on one thing at a time with your references, you can combine multiple references for unique results. As mentioned, it also helps you avoid being overwhelmed by too much at once. References enable you to discover and learn about countless topics, from fashion pieces to animals. With each reference, you gain new insights. For example, once you have drawn shoelaces a few times, you start understanding how they work and can draw them without references. Or if you want to learn more, you can search for specific references and deepen your knowledge. This applies to various aspects. To not overwhelm yourself and make sure you learn from your references, an approach you can take would be to focus on references to learn more about one topic, such as arm anatomy, beds, cars or birds for a bit of time, and not switching between subject matter too often. You may also draw a lot of characters, and for this you can have your general foundation of character references for each of the illustrations while adding different types of clothing pieces with each one. Like this, you can repeatedly learn more about characters while learning something a bit new with each illustration. Finally, it's important to give proper credit and use references ethically. Only use references that you're allowed to use and credit the original creators if possible. Remember, referencing is not tracing and claiming the work as your own. It's about learning and creating something new inspired by what you observe. Now that I've mentioned several aspects when it comes to references, I'll continue by demonstrating how I would use references on an illustration. And for this, we'll go over my process for drawing this illustration of child, focusing on the references. Because of this, I will share parts of the process where I focused on drawing from references, as well as what references I used. For sketching in the face, hair and outfit, I used references of the character I drew, Child. For many Genshin Impact characters, you luckily have the option to use a 3D model from Games Fashion Archive. You can also use the Genshin Wiki site to get images of the cards. Being able to rotate the 3D model was really helpful here. For characters with more complex outfits, this is really good. Speaking of the outfit, I didn't draw Child's original outfit for this illustration. Instead, I went for an alternative outfit I saw in multiple artworks on Pinterest. I personally really like this outfit, especially how the blue tones contrast with Child's red hair, but since I decided to go for this outfit instead of Child's initial one, I couldn't rely on the 3D model as a reference for it, and instead used multiple images I saw on Pinterest to draw the outfit. The mask on Child's head was the same shape-wise for this alternative outfit though, so here I was able to use the 3D model as well. There are also similarities in the overall cut of the outfit here, and it was kinda nice to see these when drawing the outfit. I also wanted Child to hold a bow in one hand and one of these water swords he also has in his card illustration, and I used the card illustration as well as a few other references for this. What was really nice was that many of the images of Child with the alternative outfit featured the bow as well, so I could reference it like this. I also really liked the bow design, and drawing it was nice. After sketching in all the elements, I moved on to drawing line art. For this, I would look at the references again, at first for the head, using mainly the card illustration, but also the 3D model. After this, I used the reference images also used when drawing the sketch for the outfit again. Depending on how clear your sketch is, you may be able to get away with not looking at the reference again for drawing the line art on top of it. For me, this can sometimes be the case, but most of the time my sketch is a bit messy, so I like to have my references open to refine some parts. Since I used references from multiple artists when drawing the outfit, I noticed how the outfit part sizes could vary a bit. Due to this, I adjusted some sizes here when drawing the line art as well. I referenced the images, including the outfit again, for drawing the patterns, and after this I moved on to coloring. For colors and shading, you can use different references as well. I actually reused the background of an older illustration of Zhongli here, but I wanted to go for mostly blue colors. I also decided I would like for this illustration's colors and values to be contrasting to Zhongli's illustration. Due to this, I referenced my older Zhongli illustration when adding the colors and blocking in the lighting. Additionally, I gathered a few references that I wanted to use for the colors and lighting as well. I, for example, imagined Child would be in a snowy environment, so having some references of snow flying in the wind was helpful here as well. While I used a lot of references, especially when beginning with the coloring to block in values, colors and shading here, I didn't use many references when shading, as I was pretty much using the process I'm used to here. I've drawn characters and outfits many times before, so over time I have developed a general process I like to use for this. At times I do look at references for how I would like to shade the hair or different outfit parts, like metal for example though, especially when I'm struggling unsure with something or I want to try something new. After shading Child, I shaded the objects, or more like weapons, surrounding him. Since I'm not as used to drawing objects like these, I relied on references for shading more heavily here. Then I finally combined these with the shaded character. From then on, I pretty much used my own earlier value block-ins and references of ice and snow to adjust the colors and add finishing touches, and after a lot of adjusting, the illustration is complete. And that's it for today's tutorial on using references. I hope you found these tips and techniques helpful. If you did, leaving a like and subscribing for more art-related videos in the future would be amazing. You can also let me know your feedback in the comments. I have a Patreon where I share screen-recorded process videos and more. If you're interested, you can check it out. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.